Hey guys, Bad at Chaos here. I'm going to be talking about an early Nintendo product. Some of these items, show up on eBay every once in a while or other online sites. You got your Famicom games, you got your Game & Watches, you got your 10 billion barrels. But one thing you don't see quite nearly as often is the Lefty RX. So I decided I'd take this out and show you guys it today. So there was 3 different models of the Lefty RX released. There was the original, and then right here I have the second model, the GT Sport. The third was the Proto-Type, as it was called. The main difference between the versions, they just kind of added a little, little differences here and there. Like the notable difference with the second model here is that they added a spoiler to the back of the car. This is obviously the white model. It came with a bunch of stickers that you could peel off and apply to your vehicle. Got the manual here. The manual's kind of neat. Got your fuel pit, it comes with your batteries, blah blah blah. Let me zoom into each one of these panels here. Talks about showing how to put your battery in to each of the devices here. Go back up to the top. Basically talking about charging your vehicle, plugging it in, winding it up, setting up a course or how to drive the thing. Also talks about tightening the tension spring. I'll go over that in a moment, and also I guess oiling or greasing up the vehicle. Kind of funny little illustration there. And the back, of course, at the very bottom is pretty neat. Got the old Nintendo logo there, circa 72. So you might be wondering while I was going over this, well, why would I want a vehicle that only turns left? That's why it is called the Lefty, because it only turns left. Well, the whole idea comes down to cost cutting, and how to make the product as cheap as possible for the consumer. One way they're able to do that is by getting rid of the amount of motors you need, and also simplifying the radio system. So in this particular vehicle here, the way it would work, as you see here, this is the remote. The only button you have is to accelerate. You can't turn left or right. So basically the way it works, in a normal stance, as you can see here, there's a spring that's actually actively pushing or pulling this back. And so what would happen, as the vehicle accelerated forward, it would pull this drive forward and the vehicle would take off in a straight line. And as it decelerated, the spring would push the the whole steering column, or whatever you call it, back, and the vehicle, as it was decelerating, it would turn left. So that's how it worked. You're either turning left while slowing down or going straight. Kind of funny. So yeah, it's kind of a fun little idea. So instead of having a separate motor to turn the vehicle, another motor to drive the vehicle, they just had one. So it's kind of neat. Same thing, like I said, with the radio. Instead of needing multiple frequencies to handle the turning and another one for accelerating, they just needed one one frequency to basically on or off, to go or not to go. Yeah, I think I already went over that. The stickers you could peel off, throw on there. Here's the fuel pit. So kind of cool, as it kind of showed the instruction is there. You can put the vehicle on, make sure the vehicle is in the off position. But anyhow, so you can go ahead and plug her in there. As you can see on mine, it's very corroded. There's a lot of little chunks of rust on there. But anyhow, so you plug that in. Go ahead over here, and you have this little timer there. You crank it up, and after 2 or 3 minutes, the timer would stop, and that basically signified that it was ready to go again. I'll show you the styrofoam here. So basically you have your car here, remote. It also came with a screwdriver to adjust the tension on the spring. In this little hole there would have been little traffic cones. It came with little traffic cones, so you can set up a circuit to, little obstacles to drive around. Over here is obviously the fuel pit. Over here you had your batteries. So you got your D or C batteries here. You got two 9 volts that would fit here, one for the remote, the other proprietary rechargeable one. One thing that was kind of unfortunate about me purchasing this is that, well, it didn't come with any of the original batteries. And as you may or may not know, it's actually unlawful, or it's against the law, to mail batteries in Japan. So a lot of people who would, export items would not include the batteries. Of course, not everybody follows the law, but apparently this person was a nice law-abiding citizen, so they did not provide the original batteries when they shipped this little baby over. Yeah, so that kind of sucks. But of course, since this thing's from 1972, I'm pretty sure the batteries would have dried up or started leaking, or probably caused a mess anyways. So it's probably for the best that they didn't come with it when I had purchased this. One kind of interesting thing, as you can see here, the front wheels are chrome, or painted silver. The back are black. Now, originally, to my understanding, they are supposed to be silver, and from various forum threads that I've read, for whatever reason, the paint likes to come off. So there's actually a lot of these out there that are missing paint like mine. I'm not sure, maybe the plastic makeup was a little bit different on the rear wheels compared to the, I doubt it, but I'm not really sure why. I can't really think of a real reason why the paint would decide to flake off on the back versus the front. Kind of odd, but yeah, so on the front you got your little Nintendo logo. Back you got your spoiler. So this was pretty much the primary difference between the original model and this second model here, the GT Sport. They had a little spoiler, and the front was shaped a tiny bit different. It came in 3 different colors: red, white, and blue. And if I forget which side it is, but on one of the sides of the box, I think it's, well, of course, it's all the way around. There's a little sticker there, and that indicates what color the box has. So instead of having all these different versions of the packaging, they just created one, normal package for everything, and then they just added a simple sticker indicating what was inside. So this sticker indicates it was white 1, so one white car. As far as packaging variations for the GT Sport, there was 2. There was basically a double model, it came with 2 cars. Then there was the single, like this one. And from what I understand, the original Lefty RX even had a triple model, or a triple package, that had 3 cars in it. Got Nintendo, nice little atom there. And the reverse just says 1972 by Nintendo, made in Japan, patent pending. I just wanted to share this with you folks out there. So thanks for stopping by. Check out my other Nintendo collectible related videos. Thanks, bye.